Hey there guys, welcome and back and welcome to another episode of Vampyr. Okay, so let's analyze that blood. Let's analyze serum. And let's I believe I need a little more of that stuff. Let's all of them too. Now let's my blood cell regenerate 60 pounds of blood instantly. Oh, 15 seconds. Let's see if I can upgrade this thing. Yeah, I can. So, last time I increased the damage by 10%, increase handling, add 3 more spell points.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Okay. Before I go to Swansea, let's just take some rest and see if we can upgrade any other thing. you perform to vision and 5 damage from random. Okay. What about this? 1000 points. So far, 2 skills left. Okay, he has anemia, fatigue, anemia, fatigue, cold, migraine.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Any news about my operation?
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reid. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Tell me about it.
I'm a...
Okay. Details. How is his health? Much better. He has recovered. So I have to go next guy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reid.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reid.
Oh,
We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your...
yeah, he is healthy. She's pretty.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son?
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such...
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your...
All my son needs is help and comprehension.
Okay, we have a new hint.
Do you require medical attention as well?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this?
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
As for me...
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared.
Call it what you want, Dr. Reid.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you, then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Okay.
I have to go now.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
The words to calm the children. I will not let you down, my boy.
The daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood. How close are...
To wait for...
Aren't you afraid?
She's quite...
Okay, yeah. Thought I did ask this question.
Why do you feel responsible for...
I wasn't disfigured by any German
Why lie about...
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
You know you can't hide forever. One day you'll have to face your loved ones. Until that day, you have no chance of real recovery.
My friends all died in the trenches. It's shameful enough to be alive with these stupid scars. I don't want my children to see me like this.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
You. Okay.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it.
Goodbye for now, Mr. L.
Dear
disgust on every street corner.
Where is she? And
Good evening, Miss
I
Hutton.
need blood, Doctor.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense, now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reid. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you, Miss...
okay, so what else? Oh, nice. Room. Call setting. Call setting. Location. Let's go to him. What the hell?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see the city is crumbling down? Today people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow we may be fighting for food.
All right.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, Nurse Brent.
Good evening.
Nope.
Do you require...
I will be...
Nurse, you won't be able to help.
I'll try, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Last thing I wish is...
Hello again, Mr.
Yes. We're talking about something.
Do you want to talk about...
No,
an irrational fear like yours?
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so...
As a soldier, you're...
My God, you're so wrong.
Oh.
Why were you locked in that...
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got...
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has any...
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it.
Why did you run? What was the...
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital. I can't stand being...
Mr. Thatcher, do you have...
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean.
No. Nobody can truly understand.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again, by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional...
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime.
Do you need medical attention? I will see you... Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Hello again, Mr.
I'm eternally grateful.
What caused your phobia of...
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a...
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. No.
I see.
No, you don't. You have...
Apparently everyone here is
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was...
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before?
No. We met in the battlefield.
Why do you stay here now?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one. They turn me.
You are always welcome.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs something.
Perhaps he needs to reach that.
Could you speak to him?
Do you need medical?
Afraid so.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon.
You're working at the Pembroke hospital, aren't you?
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. I cannot enter.
Okay, let's see if they are gonna talk. Let's see what they're saying.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
Oh. Okay.
Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Okay, let's complete another side mission.